Good afternoon, everyone. It is Tuesday night training. It is May 28th, and I am so excited to have you all with us. We're waiting for our featured guest to arrive tonight. So Lynn has something she wants to share, and I'm really excited to hear about it.
So we went out for breakfast yesterday and they had just a little serving of a fruit cup with whipped cream on it. And so I thought, well, I have to make a video with my whipped cream maker. So I'm going to do that. So I showed the cup slicer slicing strawberries and grapes. I used the fruit wedger to do a peach, and I added blueberries and blackberries. And then they're in the 1 cup prep bowl. And then I made the strawberry whipped cream. It's just the heavy whipping cream and strawberry jam.
Yeah.
And I squirted it on top. It did look pretty, but Lance dug into this before I walked up here. And then 6 of these prep bowl cups will fit in the rectangular cool and serve.
Oh.
So you can put them in the cool and serve, take them to where you want to go, and then put the whipped cream on top.
Yum.
So
I've got a party Friday that I may use that idea.
Good. Good. I'm glad somebody can use the idea.
I like showing off the cup slicer at parties,
Yeah,
making
people
them
love it.
use it.
Yeah, people love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which bowl do the 6 cups fit in?
This is the 1 cup prep bowl,
Yeah.
and 6 of these will fit in your rectangular cool and serve.
And it'll keep it cool until they want it.
Mhm.
Nice.
That
I
is
like
awesome.
that idea.
That is awesome.
So you use the cup server, slicer for the fruit, and you use the what for the peaches?
The fruit wedger, is that what it's called? The fruit?
Stone fruit?
Yeah, stone fruit
Yes.
wedger.
Yes. Love it. You know, I'm going to text Dawn.
Maybe she's on a different time frame.
Well, we talked this morning. We talked today. I'm just going to call her. Why isn't she here? There she is. Oh, I'm calling her house. I'm calling the wrong number.
Hi,
Hi, are you joining us?
I'm on live.
You are? Oh, we were going to do it on Zoom.
Oh,
Are you the only one there?
I don't know. I was just doing it live at the group. That's what I was telling you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry that I misunderstood. Do you need me to go to Zoom?
Yes, please. We're waiting. Yeah, we have some people here.
Okay.
All right, take your time. Take your
I'll
time.
go over there and grab it. I'll be there just a second.
All right, hon, thanks.
Okay, bye.
I'm sorry. We miscommunicated. Well, in the
I
meantime,
can't see it.
can't see what?
I can't see that she's live. Where is she live?
Okay.
When you made the demo and used the whipped cream maker, did you say something about strawberry
Mhm.
whipped cream?
Yep.
How do you do strawberry whipped cream?
3/4 cup heavy whipping cream and 1/4 cup of strawberry jam.
1/4 cup
Mm-hmm.
strawberry jam.
Hi, Dawn. Yeah, there you go.
Well, there we are. Sorry, guys. I was just going.
No,
Nobody saw me live in the event over there. Just thought I knew what I was doing.
Oh, and Madeline was looking because I don't see her. But anyway, it's all good. Hey, listen, before we get started, John, I was going to do a quick little bit of recognition here,
Okay.
if you don't mind. But welcome, and I'm so glad you're here. Listen, I wanted just to say that we have some people who have earned the free for all already this month. So let me recognize those that have done over $1,000 in sales. And that is Jennifer Thomas, Sue Beverly, Ann Beatty, Madeline Friedenlin, Kathy Mitchell, Gail Ruffin, Marcy Rose, Skylar Holland, Cassidy Oliver, Meg Fulkerson, Jenny Callis, and Sarah King. And those that have reached the $2,000 level are Gail Saya, Heather Curtis, Holly Ayers, LaCarla Royal, Maureen Kimmel, Jessica Pascazum, Lynn Mead, and Alexis Blake. We have some people who have reached 4,000. That's Sonia Carter, Sue Reynolds, Kim Green. And then we have 6 people, it looks like, who have done over 6,000, and that is Dawn Ferreira, Lori Coleman, Kim Hill, Bonnie Fickett, and Aaron Chase. So you have just a few more days to get more sales in and to earn all of those free for all products, because it is worth it to get them for free, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Called Working Smarter, Not Harder. Well, listen, you guys, you know her and you love her, and we are so excited to have Dawn share about the coffee machine, because Karen doesn't drink coffee, and I am not going to be a good resource for that. So I am excited that Dawn will be. But I just want to remind you, Dawn is a senior director. She has been with Pampered Chef 26 years, and she has done 2.759 million in sales, and she has recruited 323 people in her 26 years with Pampered Chef, and she is just our dynamo. We just appreciate her so much, and we are excited for you to take it away and tell us why you love this coffee.
Well, I did a nice little live. I don't know if it's there or not. I said to post it, so y'all, if you
It's
go
in
watch,
the event.
is it there?
It's in the event, but the event wasn't showing up when I was looking. I was looking in Joe Pack,
Well,
but it's in the event.
I thought I knew what I was doing. Look, it goes to show, guys, anybody can do Pampered Chef. Anybody can do Chef and do well with it, right?
Exactly.
Well, I am super excited to share with y'all about the coffee maker tonight. When this was first introduced, I was ecstatic because I love coffee. I drink coffee every single day, and I especially drink coffee in the afternoon. I love to do what I call my frou-frou coffee in the afternoon. And if I had all the money in the world, I would go to Starbucks every day of my life and get myself a latte. So when Pampered Chef announced our coffee maker, I was super excited because I knew I could save a lot of money and I could indulge every single day and not feel so guilty about it. And I have had it ever since it was announced. We didn't have to send ours back, and mine has worked perfectly as long as I've had it, and I use it every single day. So I'll tell you a little bit about it. What I really love is that it gives you 3 different options, guys. My husband and I had stayed in a hotel that had an espresso machine, and we fell in love with it. And we came home and we're like, we're going to buy ourselves an espresso machine. Well, it was quite pricey to do nothing but an espresso. So we just could not justify it. So when Pampered Chef came out with this, and I said, oh my gosh, it's Nespresso, but it's not just Nespresso. We're going to be able to use it for that, but we're also going to be able to use it with regular coffee. So in the afternoon, when I feel like I need a little bump me up, or if my husband's not here and I don't want to make a whole pot of coffee, I can make just 1 cup of coffee using my regular ground coffee, using this attachment that does come with some filters, but you cannot buy these from Pampered Chef as replacement filters, just so you know that. They say you can buy them like from Amazon or something like that, but you place in your.
Are those regular coffee filters? I mean, like you would use, if they're paper and you throw them away? Okay.
That's right. They're little disposable filters, but they're 1 cup size and they fit in here.
Okay.
So,
can I ask one more question? When you say pricey, I think it might be helpful. It would be helpful for me to know, like, what are we talking about when an espresso machine costs?
About $250.
Okay, for just doing one thing. Okay.
For one thing. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Question. Thank you. So you're going to get this option. So if you want to just use your ground coffee and you don't want to go buy pods, you don't have to do that. You can just use your ground coffee and make a cup at the time, which is really nice. Also nice, I like flavored coffee. My husband hates flavored coffee. So this way we get it any way we want it, right? So I don't have to argue and say, I want flavored coffee this morning when you make a pot of coffee. I can make a cup of flavored. He can make a cup of plain. So that's really cool. Also love that it comes with the K-cup attachment. This is the one that they have just upgraded. So mine never had any issues with the original coffee maker, but there were a few. And what I love about Pampered Chef, and y'all love it as well, is they pride themselves in bringing out a product that is second to none, that it really is above anything else you can find on the market. So when they heard there were issues, they said, we got to stop this right now. We got to pull it back. We got to fix those issues. So they did extensive testing and redesigning to make sure that this worked for all different kinds of pods. So I'm excited that this is back. This is your K-Cup. And this is nice because I know Karen, when we had our retreat, she had lots of different flavors of K-Cups. So everybody got to get up and make their own coffee however they wanted it. So you can do different flavors. You can do decaf or regular. You can do things like hot chocolate, hot tea, and even spiced cider using these K-Cups. And again, it's one at the time. So it's a little bit of waste because you're buying the pod, but it's not waste because you're not making a whole pot. So that's what I love. Yeah. What's really cool is they have a little garage on the side. Can y'all see this?
Mhm.
That little door. And that's where your extra attachments stay. So when you're not using them, they fit right into this side garage and you're not having to search for them. How many of you have tools that have different pieces and you're like looking all over your house trying to find the pieces when you want to go use it? You don't have to do that with this. Everything stores neatly. And then the third piece is the Nespresso. This is the one that's in my machine all the time. And I've just made myself a Nespresso, but I'll show you how I did. Actually, I'll make another one. I'll just dump that one out and I'm going to make another one because I want to show you how this. So this is your Nespresso. Again, you pop it up. This is what the pods look like. Hold on, let me grab a fresh pod.
Where do you buy the Nespresso pods?
Where do you buy them? I buy them on Amazon, but you can buy at the grocery store. Nespresso is the brand name, but there are lots of companies that make these now. There are two different designs. So there's one that's kind of squishy flat and it's got like a little bubble. Those do not work. You want the ones that are this shape. Can y'all see that? It's a little taller and a little more squared off and then just rounded on the bottom. The other ones are like just a little, I can't think of the word, sphere shape. But you want these. These are the original Nespresso.
Is that what they call them? The original Nespresso? Okay.
Yep, the original. But again, all different. Like this is Pete's coffee. So this is not Nespresso brand.
Okay.
Start make some, lots of different places make them. You can get flavored, you can get unflavored, you can get Italian, Guatemalan, whatever kind of coffee you want, you can get it in these. But when you want to do this, yeah, go ahead, Lynn.
So the Starbucks ones will fit?
As long as it's this shape.
Okay.
See how taller?
Okay.
And just got that bubble on the bottom. The other one is short and it is a complete bubble.
Okay.
It doesn't straight sides.
It looks a lot smaller than the K-Cup.
It is a lot smaller than the K-Cup. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
A lot smaller,
Yeah.
but a lot stronger. So Nespresso is espresso. So it's a really strong flavor of coffee. And that's what your fancy coffee drinks are made out of. Your cappuccinos, your lattes, they use espresso to make those. Okay. So that's what we're doing here. So all you do is place it in, you push it to its flush, and then you're just going to insert it in this piece. This is the part that I always forget. You have to pull this little arm down. If you don't pull that arm down, it is not going to work. Okay. But once you pull the arm down, this is going to light up if it's still on. This does turn itself off, just so you know. But I just made one, so it's still on. So with Nespresso, it gives me 3 different options, 2, 4, or 6 ounce. So depending on how strong you like your espresso would depend on which ounce size you choose. I always do 6 ounce. That works perfect for me. With your K-Cup or your regular coffee, it gives you, I think it's up to 16 ounces, if I'm not mistaken. But it knows when you put in the K-Cup attachment, it knows what ounce size, what ounce options to give you. Okay.
So my question would be then, does it use the same amount of coffee like in that ounces, or does it reduce the amount of coffee it uses in the little pod? Do you understand?
It's used in the whole pod.
It does, okay.
So the pods are, I mean, they're a one-time use. I have heard people say that they'll reuse them, but I do not.
Okay.
These are a one-time use.
Okay.
So it knows, the people that make espresso know how much to put into that pod for an espresso, and the same thing for K-Cup.
Okay, so when you're doing an espresso 6 ounce versus a 2 ounce, you're just getting a lot more coffee in those 2 ounces.
You're getting
Stronger.
Stronger.
it's going to be very strong.
Okay, okay, that's what
Be weaker because you're watering it down.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense, yep.
Yeah. So same thing with K-Cup. If I use a K-Cup and I choose 10 ounces, it's going to be a stronger coffee. If I choose 16 ounces, it's going to be a weaker coffee.
Okay.
You also have this option. It's a plus. And that when you hit that plus sign, it'll actually let you strengthen the coffee. So if you like a bolder coffee, that will, I have never used that. Has anybody else used the coffee maker before? Okay. I have not used that button. It works fine for me just the way it is. So I'm going to choose 6 ounces. That's what is lit up. I'm just going to hit the start button and you'll hear it. You'll hear a little pop. Did y'all hear that? So it's like piercing through the lid here. See all those little holes in it? It pierces through so that when the water passes through, it is actually brewing that coffee for you.
Does it pass through the whole thing, or does it kind of swirl it out?
Nope, it comes through the whole thing. There's
Okay,
holes,
I see holes at the bottom. Okay.
holes in. Yep. So it's coming through. And what I like about an espresso is that it gives you that foamy on the top with and adding the cream to it.
Oh.
Yeah, I still add the cream because I really like frou coffee. I learned when I had to start drinking black coffee for health reasons that I really don't like coffee. I like the cream and I like the sweetener and I like a little coffee flavor in it. So this I love because I get it all. So there you go. It's turned off. It sings to you and it says I'm done. And that's what espresso looks like. So it's nice and dark and it has that foamy on the top. Now, what I like to do, and we sell syrups, but ours are not sugar-free. So if you are trying to watch your calories or your sugar intake, ours are not going to be a good option for that, but they are delicious. So just so you know that. Has anybody tried the syrups?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I tried the lemon.
So you use that as your sweetener in your coffee instead of sugar.
That's right. And this is salted caramel.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is my favorite, y'all. This is the frother. Does anybody use this? Oh my gosh, Kathy, is this not amazing?
Absolutely love it. I use it every day.
Yeah, every single day. And again, when I go to Starbucks, they have almond milk and they have oat milk, but it's not sugar free. And then they do have skim milk, but that's a dairy item. So I usually will do skim milk, but I love using the sugar-free almond milk. It's dairy, and I'm getting very few calories. And
sorry,
something's bad.
Yeah. So I love that you have options. I have also done sugar-free oat milk, and that works well. They do say dairy milk tends to froth a little bit better, but this brand sugar-free almond milk froths beautifully for me. So I'm going to show y'all. So you just pour it in. There's a fill line. So it'll tell you how far to fill it. And then you're going to pop the lid on. And then you hit this top button and that lets you choose what you want. Do you want a high froth? Do you want a low froth? Do you want no froth, just heated milk? Or do you want cold foam? Now, I will tell you, I was not familiar with cold foam, but in the summertime, when you drink a cold coffee, an iced coffee, or a cold brew, like with our cold brew pitcher, you can get cold foam milk to go on top of that. And that, supposedly, when you go to Starbucks, you pay more for that to get cold foam versus hot foam. So to know that we have that option on our frother is just amazing. But literally you just hit this and you choose whichever one you want. I always do high foam. And then you hit the bottom start button. And it will start bubbling in there. And it will turn off and it will beep when it's done. So literally I'll come over, I'll do my Nespresso, I'll pour my milk in, and they're usually done about the same time. And y'all, in under 5 minutes, I've made myself a Starbucks latte that I got to choose what flavor sugar-free I wanted, what kind of milk I wanted to froth, the amount of calories that I wanted to consume for literally these are a little bit pricey. This brand I just got, they were about 50 cents a piece. So I'm spending under $1 for what I would spend $7 for at Starbucks. So if you do the math, I just heard this the other day. If you spend, let me think of the number. It was, how can you throw away $10,000 in a year?
Oh.
And like, have y'all seen that?
Mm-mm.
It was like, and I may not have my math right. If you spend, it was less than $20 a day. Going out to eat, stopping at the gas station, going through and getting yourself a coffee, you have wasted $10,000 in a year. Y'all, what could we do with $10,000?
Europe.
A really big vacation. I could redecorate my living room. You know, go put a nice down payment on a car. What we could do with that, and we live in that world that we are constantly driving through. If you don't believe me, just go to Starbucks. I've never been to one that there was not a line around the building. So think about how much money we're going to save people just in a month's time. If they're going to Starbucks once a day, they're going to have a nice chunk towards purchasing their own coffee maker.
So they're saving $6 a day.
Yes. So do the math on that. How much is the coffee maker? $3.29.
So we would do seven months or 7 days or 5 days.
7.
Dawn?
If you're addicted, you're going every day of the week.
Okay.
Lynn, question?
And if they
Yeah.
host it, they can get it for half price.
There you go, Bonnie. Or free.
No.
True. So
Can you-
$7 instead of 49.
Could you plug them both in the same outlet at the same time, or do we
Yeah.
have to? And it
I
won't
have,
work?
yeah, I do have them both in the same outlet at the same time. And I
Okay.
have ever. And I've not
Okay.
had a problem. I'd say the coffee maker probably takes more power, but the frother, no.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So good question. This was another part I was going to show y'all. I love the water well. It's nice and large. So this lasts me several days before I have to refill it. So I'm not having to go over to the sink and put the water in every time I go to use this. It holds a nice little water well on the side. So that's a nice benefit. This is also nice. This piece, which is what holds your cup, comes off, and there's 3 different settings here. So the top one is if you're using a small cup, like an espresso cup, it's up higher, so it's not going to drip down as far. Then if you're using a large cup like this one, you come down to the second. But if you are doing that big old giant coffee to go because it's Monday and you need 20 ounces instead of 12 ounces, it goes all the way to the bottom, and you can put a 20-ounce tumbler under there and fill that up. Isn't that cool? And it also catches any drippage. It's got a nice little screen so it catches any drippage. So I want to show y'all my latte.
Hey, Dawn, I wanted to, on my coffee, when I've had my froth, I then sprinkle a little bit of our cinnamon on the top.
Yes,
I really
And
feel like I'm
good for
Starbucks.
you. It's good for you.
Yes, cinnamon is very good for you.
So the way
That makes it healthy.
That's right.
that's right. This is healthy. Because it's no sugar here, 30 calories for a cup, and I'm using about a half a cup. So this is 15 calories.
Oh,
Where you go to Starbucks, some of those are 300, 400, 500 calories for a drink. So that's another big thing to share with people. You can really cut back on your calories. So
And
can
we
y'all,
know everything that's in it.
yes. You that's exactly right. And again, that's a huge to share with people. When they start reading labels and they see what they're putting in their body, it's those preservatives and that junk that are causing Alzheimer's. It's causing ADHD in kids. Even autism has been linked to the preservatives in the foods that we're putting in our body. So big, big, big selling point. But y'all look at that frog. Isn't that awesome? So take a spoon and you're going to actually pour the hot milk off into your coffee. And then that's going to lighten your coffee. And then the froth, I'm just going to scoop right onto the top. Can y'all see?
My.
It's like whipped cream. And like Kathy said, take your cinnamon and sprinkle that on the top. And oh my goodness, I have not figured out is when you go to these real fancy coffee houses, they pour this and it's like the shape of a heart. I haven't figured that one out yet. So if anybody figures it out, let me know. And then we're going to have our baristas.
And I thought about we could do hot chocolate and with kids do that foam and then do sprinkles on top. That's a selling point.
Oh, I love that.
Would you have to use low foam so it's lower and maybe a little bit more runny? Is low foam more runny than high foam?
Yes. Low foam is not going to be, it's, kind of like whipped cream.
Okay.
The stiffer the peaks, the higher the foam.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Don't beat it as much like whipped cream. You're not going to have as much foam. And I did do one almond milk that it did not foam as well as this. So you're going to kind of have to test different products to find the one that you like the best.
Okay, I have another question. Why do you use cold foam? Because it makes it foamy instead of just using cold milk. I mean, okay.
So it's going to be like this. But it's cold milk instead of heated milk.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So if you're drinking a cold, and that's one thing I will tell you that a lot of people don't know, and Karen, you're not a coffee drinker. So the cold brew pitcher that's coming out next month, I've had people that say, well, I don't like cold coffee. And I said, cold brew does not mean you're drinking cold coffee. It's how it is brewed. Regular coffee is brewed with hot water and it creates more acid and it is a more bitter flavor. If you don't like the bitterness of coffee, cold brew pulls some of that acid out and it makes it a smoother, milder coffee flavor. You can take that cold brew and heat it up and drink it hot. So if you don't like cold coffee, don't think that cold brew just means you have to drink it cold.
Interesting. And you can brew coffee and make it cold. I mean, so you can really do either way, right?
But and a lot of people cannot, if they have a lot of stomach issues, they can't drink coffee because the acid really bothers their stomach. But a lot of them can handle drinking cold brew coffee. So they can use our cold brew pitcher and cold brew their coffee, and then they just heat it up when they drink it if they don't like it cold. That makes sense. But I'm telling you, this is huge, guys. It is going to make such a difference. I cannot tell you the places I go that 9 out of 10 people have got a Starbucks cup in their hand.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's unbelievable how much that cost us.
Okay, so I did figure out that if you're spending $7 a day, 7 times 7 is $49. Minus $7, that's $42 a week. Make sense, everybody?
Yep.
Okay, then 42 times 52 is what $2,184.
Wow.
Just for coffee every day.
Yeah, for coffee, and then you get your snacks and
yeah, right. Your egg bites that you could make in the pressure cooker.
Exactly.
So yeah, you could do, you could do a Starbucks demo.
You could.
You
could do it as a party, Dawn.
Well, I will tell you, when it first came out, before we found out that it was going to have to be pulled, I did a cooking club. And I had it out and I let people come in and make their own coffee. And everybody here was so excited about it. And they're like, let me know when that comes out. They were thrilled because there were people like me that they had been looking at the Nespresso, but they didn't really want to invest the money. in just that one specialty product and then have to have a separate coffee maker to do their other stuff. So it is huge. You can definitely do that. The only thing I will tell you is if you're doing a live demo, they do say the frother does not always work great if you're using it back to back. So if you're making a coffee for 10 people and you're using that frother 10 times in a row, it doesn't always work as well. It's not designed to work that much. It needs a little break in between. So that's the one thing I'll tell you about doing it at a live event.
Not for commercial use.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do we know when the coffee maker will be available for?
No, but
Our
it's pretty
customers
soon.
are-
I would think it's pretty soon.
I was thinking June, but they haven't said anything, so I don't know.
I tried making a couple of phone calls today to see if I could find anything out, but I couldn't. So, but I do have another question, and this is about the frother. And I'm ashamed to say I have not made hot chocolate. So when you're using the frother to make hot chocolate, would you use like a low foam and put your milk in? Do you put your chocolate and stuff in there too, or do you just do the milk and that?
I don't know the answer to that, Karen. I know Kim Hill uses it for hot chocolate all the time, and I think she puts her chocolate in. But from what and maybe there is a recipe on the website. Does anybody else know that?
I know that I make George chocolate milk in it, and I just put milk and I put the chocolate syrup in it,
You do.
and it foams up just a little bit, and it's fluffy milk, and he loves it.
And you put
So
it on
you
low
do it
foam.
cold,
You
the cold
put 'em-
brew set.
I use the cold foam setting, and I don't let it go all the way. I stop it about halfway through, just so that it doesn't get too thick. But he loves it. He thinks it's the funniest thing because it's fluffy.
Okay, I just want to be clear. You're making chocolate milk with it then?
Yes,
Just
I'm not
chocolate
making
milk.
hot chocolate,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I know
Now,
the chocolate
It's
works.
the same thing as hot. I mean, you could make hot chocolate using those same ingredients.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And you can buy hot chocolate pods at the
Yeah.
grocery store with the
For the
coffee.
cake.
Yeah, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have a, for myself, I'm not gonna have a big coffee.
Yeah.
pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I usually make my hot chocolate from scratch anyway, so.
Yeah. I will tell you, I think it is amazing. I think it's going to be a big seller. Going to save people a boatload of money. So
Have you thought about how you're going to clean it, Dawn?
that is a great question, Kathy. And
My
no,
kids will ask me that because they made me get rid of my Keurig for that very reason.
Because you couldn't
Yeah.
wash it.
I've thought of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because Keurigs, you have a descaling like liquid that you can put through it to like clean out all of the hoses in it. And
Well,
stuff.
I used to take vinegar and put it in the water, the water holder, whatever you call that thing. I would put vinegar in there with water, of course, and run it through several times. So I'm just wondering if Pampered Chef has come up with any type of way that we can clean it.
when I went and did the training, I did not see anything about cleaning.
in
so
like
that's-
the use and care, I haven't seen anything. I thought about that too the other day when I was at Target, Kathy, and I saw like the descaling liquids.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have to come out with something, they'll come out with some kind of training.
I was going to say it was in the March catalog, so I got it in February. I've used it at least once a day since February.
Mm-hmm.
That is so
And
good to know.
I've had no issues whatsoever.
It
So
makes me wish I love coffee, but I do not like coffee. I've tried to like it. I've tried tiramisu. I've tried, I just do not. Coffee
Are
ice
you gonna
cream.
try the cold brew?
I just don't like the flavor of coffee.
yeah, if she doesn't like
Mhm.
coffee, she's not going to like cold brew either.
I
Because
didn't
it's
make it.
tastes
I
like
did.
coffee.
I made it to the cold brew pitcher and then ended up throwing it away.
I want the cold brew pitcher, not for coffee, but for flavor infused water. And someone says you can do tea with it too.
Oh, sure you do too.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
So are y'all excited about the coffee maker?
I'm excited for you guys.
I'm excited for people I know that love coffee.
Uh-huh.
I think it'll be a good seller at Christmas time.
I do.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be a good seller anytime, you know, but just
Mhm.
thing, you be familiar with it. If you haven't used it, then use somebody else's stories because you've got to build value in it. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to let people know, why do I want to spend that on that coffee maker? And our job, when people say Pampered Chef sells itself, we are the voice of Pampered Chef, and we need to know what we're talking about, and we need to build value in that product, and we build value by getting excited about it. So how can you get excited about it? And if if you don't like coffee, then you use somebody else's excitement. Oh my God, I got to tell you about my friend Dawn. She is dying over this coffee maker.
That's why I have you here tonight, Dawn. But you know, saving dollars and saving calories. I mean, those are both huge.
Yeah. Well,
That's
somebody was telling me about a Frappuccino. It may have been Dunkin' Donuts, but I think it was 1,000 calories. They said I could have 3 donuts for what this Frappuccino is. And we don't think about that stuff, you know?
Mhm.
But when you 30 calories, 15, actually 15, because it's only half a cup.
Can you buy that Nespresso in decaf?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yep. There's all different options. Just again, be sure you get the original espresso, not the squatty one. Don't get the short, fat one.
Dawn, I couldn't hear it when you were making it, but is your machine loud at all?
No,
Okay.
it is
Mine
not.
is loud. Mine is
Yours is
loud.
loud.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Like obnoxiously loud?
It's loud, but you know, I was thinking because I had seen some things online about, you know, people saying how loud it was, but and then when I used it, well, I've used it every day since I got mine. But it I don't know. I think I should compare it to my Keurig and just kind of see if it is any louder because I think a Keurig is loud too. So when it's brewing that coffee, and I know the Nespresso machines are loud because it's really pushing that water through the pod. I mean, that's
Right.
what it does to brew it and get that foam. So I think but it is loud. It is
It
loud.
makes a sound. Y'all couldn't hear mine when it was running.
Mm.
So good. So I'm thinking it's not obnoxiously loud. And my husband hates the blender, absolutely despises the sound of the blender. And he's not complained about the coffee maker. So I'm thinking it must not be too loud. Is the coffee maker obnoxiously loud? Did y'all hear that? The
No.
peanut gallery?
No, what did you
He
say?
said no, but y'all are.
Deb, what brand coffee maker did you say you were using that was loud?
It's
I-
ours. I have our coffee maker. Yeah, I just got
Oh,
mine
okay.
last week. So, and I've been using it ever since I got it. So
Okay.
I have a Keurig and but I've used an espresso before. I don't have that one personally, but it's loud. I mean, you just think about the espresso machines, even Starbucks, you're in there and they're brewing your coffee. It's loud. So, you know, it's not like you're just, you know, you're Mr. Coffee, you put your pot in and turn it on and it's quiet. So, but it's really good. I didn't know anything. I don't have the foamer or the frother, so I'm gonna have to get
You
that.
got frother.
Yes, because I just figured out that I looked on my Starbucks app how much I pay for my latte, and it's $9 because, well, because I like an extra shot, and then
That's what somebody else was telling me the other day. They said, well, I get this and I get this, and mine's $9. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right. So
definitely.
we have to listen to, we have to talk to Lynn because Lynn's husband is like a coffee. What kind of coffee machine do you guys have, Lynn?
It's an expensive one. It's
It's an expensive.
European. I don't even know what it is. And
Okay.
he was reading up on our coffee machine today, and we're going to try it in the next few days.
Okay.
I went to Meijer today and bought those Nespresso pods. And I bought the Starbucks brand, so I'm hoping I got the right ones.
Okay, good. Good.
And he's going to be my guinea pig because I do not like coffee at all.
Oh, okay.
Well, let us know what his feeling is.
I will.
Yeah.
I sent my frother to my daughter and she loved it, but I had to replace it 3 times.
Oh,
It kept dying on her.
I've heard stories of that. Yeah, I've heard that a couple of it.
Now I have my original one,
Okay.
and again every single day.
Me too.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, this has been great. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Well, Dawn, I can tell you enjoyed that cup of coffee. Or
Love
latte.
it. It just makes me so happy. It's like a warm hug.
Well, thank you so much for sharing it. Like I say, man, you really made me wish I liked coffee. But anyway, I love the
Okay.
smell. I just don't like the flavor.
That's
I'm
funny.
right there
Well,
with
I'm
you,
sorry,
Karen.
I mixed up on where I was supposed to be.
Oh, no heavens, but I'm sure it's my fault. I'm sure it's my fault. And but listen, you guys, thanks a lot for joining me. Okay, don't forget to check out the Home Kitchen Live tonight. Let us know. I'll post in Joe Pack. You let me know what tip you liked, and Dawn, you're going to be in the drawing twice because you were a presenter. So you put
Hey,
your
and y'all,
comment in 3 times.
I'm going to be Home Kitchen Live again in July.
Oh, you are.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
I remember when you did it and you did an awesome job.
She was one of the best.
Well,
Mhm.
they asked me to do it again in July. I think that's our year anniversary.
Oh,
They've been doing this for a year, so they asked. There were certain people they asked to come back and do it a second time. So, woohoo!
that's
So
great.
Yay.
you were
Just
one
keep
of the
us
very
posted.
best.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
thank y'all. Good to see y'all tonight. Have a great end of May.
You too.
Thank
Let's
you.
finish our
Thank you
start.
so much.
All right.
guys. Soon.
Love you
Bye.
guys.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.